What's up, guys? It is Wednesday, January 15th, 2025. Here's the Bitcoin block height right here, 879,437. And guys, look at these fees, man. 2 sats per V byte all across the board. It's amazing. It's amazing. So if you want to move some stuff over, like I always say the last few days, today's the day. Go ahead and follow me on Rumble. I make some interesting videos over there about politics. You can check me out on X. You can also check me out on NOSTR. Make sure you guys subscribe and follow the Bitcoin Amigos. That is me, Chris from Fractal Bitcoin. Chris never misses, and King Jor for the score on the Bitcoin Amigos. You can also check out our album on there on Wave Lake and whatever you listen to music at over there, and you can check us out over there. So please support us. And real quick, guys, I want to give a special shout out to a young man named Otis Hare Jr. He actually makes Bitcoin videos, and he's trying to get 500 subscribers. And right now he has 182 subscribers. He's doing a great job. Make sure you subscribe to Otis real quick. All right, guys, let's get on into these numbers real quick. Now, obviously, you can see this is going to be a long video. So, first of all, I want to say I'm sorry, and I want to eat some crow real quick. As you can see, we are over $100,000, and I was completely wrong yesterday. I actually thought we are going to drop down to the low 90s, high 80s yesterday, and I was wrong. And I'm very sorry. I actually told my son-in-law, because he wanted to buy Bitcoin yesterday. I feel so bad about this, but you got to learn from your mistakes. I actually told him, I hate to admit this, I told him to wait, don't buy, because it might be going down. I said, I don't know that for a fact, but a 75% chance that it probably will. That's what the chance I gave it. But fortunately, he didn't listen to me fully. So he did half of what I said. He bought a certain amount, whatever the amount he wanted to buy it yesterday. He took half of it, bought at least half of it yesterday, and then I don't know what he did with the rest today. So again, I apologize for anybody that took my bad advice. And again, one thing about Bitcoin that I know is if you think it's going to do one thing, it does the other. So I'm really sorry about that, guys. All right, so here's Clark Moody dashboard. We got 1,000 Satoshis for $1 right on the money. Well, not anymore. We're right at $100,000, man. I love to see it, but I hate to see it at the same time because again, that's less Satoshis we get every single dollar. And we got a bright light here, guys. And then if you want to check out the old prices, is investing.com. You guys can just type in a date right here, and that'll show you what the price was during that date, the high, the lows, and everything else. So that's pretty dang cool. And here's companies by market cap, even though gold is not a company. Gold is an asset that has the most money in it as of one asset. It has 18 trillion in it. They're number one, and obviously Bitcoin's number 7 at $1.9 trillion, almost 1.2 trillion, and it keeps on climbing. And I think within the next few years, Bitcoin is going to be not only passing these guys, but it's going to surpass gold too. All right, let's take a look at bitcoinsperperson.com. Again, this is one of my favorite websites of all time. You guys know I love Satoshis. And at the top here, it'll show you what your fair share of Satoshis is for $236.71 based on the number of how many Bitcoins have been mined, how many people they are, and divided it evenly. But obviously, we know it's not even because, again, there are so many Bitcoins being bought up, and I'll show you by the big companies, countries, and the ETF. So if you get at least that, I say get to 1 million, but if you get at least that, you guys will be cooking with grease. And speaking of cooking with grease, here's the Bitcoin distribution right here. You got Bitcoin balances of how many wallets there are for how much Satoshis or Bitcoin per each wallet. And as you can see where you're at. And again, this is a little bit misleading because we obviously know there are more people that own more than one wallet, obviously. But again, that means adoption is going to be even more greater, and this is going to be even more finite and scarce because there's just so many people. Again, those 8 billion people in the world, and those countries and governments and stuff like that. There's just not enough to go around, man. So again, that's why I focus so much on Satoshis because they're so important. Here's a visual of that same thing, Bitcoin ownership distribution. Now, this is with the governments, the ETFs, the businesses, the individuals. As you can see, we're 70% with the gold. Other entities right here in this little sliver. And then obviously we got Satoshi Nakamoto with about 1 million, lost 1.57 million. Again, I think it's a lot more than that. And we have less than 6% left to be mined until the year 2140. And again, for the next 9-10 years, we're going to be down to the last 1%. So all the way up to 99% of the Bitcoin will be mined and only 1% will be left. That's why Michael Saylor calls it the Bitcoin gold rush. And again, get in where you fit in, get as many Satoshis as you can, and make sure you're stacking as hard as you can. All right, guys, we got the timechaincalendar.com. We love this. It has the block height right here. The red ring is how many blocks until the difficulty adjustment. And obviously, this orange one is for how many blocks until the next halving. We're a long way away. We're not even a quarter away there. But again, every 1 year on this clock is 25% going around. Because remember, 210,000 block is roughly about 4 years. So, and then you got all these indicators over here. Again, check out this website, man, timechaincalendar.com. It'll help you out with studying Bitcoin. All right, guys, we got another bright light. We got the fear and greed index, and obviously, because the price went up, again, I was wrong about that. It's at 75 today. Is anybody smash buying today? Probably not, but there are people that are buying, obviously, because the price went up. We don't know exactly who was buying, but people are, and I'm not telling anybody what to do. But for me, I didn't smash buy today. I always do my smash buying down here, and as it goes closer and closer to the full green, I tend to just stay on the DCA and don't bother smash buying. But if you guys do what you want, I buy down here in the dip. My rule of thumb is red means go and green means stop. All right, here's the coinmarketcap.com based on how many dollars are in each cryptocurrency. And as you can see, Bitcoin's number one, Ethereum's number two. I don't even know why I show you this chart, to be honest with you guys. It just is what it is. Bitcoin's always number one. But just in case there's that one person that's come by my channel that doesn't understand the difference, guys, listen, Bitcoin is the way. Okay. It is no question. It's the number one cryptocurrency. And if you don't believe me, check this out right here. You got the Bitcoin by market cap dominance. And as you can see, out of all the 30, 40,000, however many crap coins are out there, Bitcoin owns almost 58% of the share of the total market cap of all those combined. So again, like Michael Saylor says, there is no second best. All right, speaking of cryptocurrencies, we got these exchanges that hold them. And as you can see, there's a lot of red here. That means they're selling off. Coinbase did grab up about 200 of them, but mostly it's red here. These are the top 19. So the total was 1,454 Bitcoins went off the exchanges, and they still have 2.196, almost 2.2. But as you guys can see here, you got the Bitcoin price in the yellow, and then you got the balance of Bitcoin in the green. And as you guys can see, the higher the price goes, usually the exchanges lose Bitcoin, and that's what they did today. Again, man, it's all about supply and demand. Are you talking about a supply shock? Again, it doesn't matter what the demand is with Bitcoin. The supply lever can't change. And if you want to get your fair share at a decent price, you better do that because, again, these Bitcoin are running out. All right, guys, we got a bright light. All right, let's take a look at MicroStrategy. They're at 450,000 Bitcoin. Again, I laugh every time I see this because countries won't have this, guys. Okay. And they have 450,000 Bitcoin, man. Every time I see that, I'm just like, wow, they're 50,000 away from 500 million, guys. I mean, need I say more about that? But anyways, obviously MicroStrategy is number one here at the top. The second is Marathon Digital. These are all the companies got the major amounts of Bitcoin. Riot Platforms, Tesla, all these Coinbases, exchanges. They just have some, but if you add a lot of these up, a lot of them don't even come up to what MicroStrategy has. Is absolutely insane how much they have. All right, let's take a look at the ETFs and what happened yesterday. So January 14th, BlackRock right here, they sold off almost 2,300 Bitcoin yesterday. Very surprising. They bought 318, but they sold off and it's still up. Now, I don't know what they did today. We'll check back on that tomorrow, but that's a lot, man. That's a lot. And in total, the Bitcoin ETFs sold off 2,300 Bitcoin. That's pretty surprising, but I'm pretty sure today they probably bought some more. But again, we'll check back with that tomorrow. So let's see some more numbers with these ETFs. All right, this is heyapollo.com. Now, as you can see, if you're thinking about buying some Bitcoin on ETFs, if you have a retirement account or something like that, you can look at these and see what the fees are and who holds them. And what if I had to pick one, honestly, I would pick Fidelity because of this right here. They do the self-custody, guys, and they got a pretty low fee, even though I don't want to pay anybody a fee to hold my Bitcoin when it's not really mine. But anyways, based on that alone, Fidelity's a trusted company. I will probably pick them out of all of these. And as you can see, these are the ETS Bitcoin holdings since inception, since January 10th. And as you can see, it's going up and up and up. And this is kind of like a colored chart to show you the progression of it going up. I'm looking at the IBIT. It's just going up and up and up and up and up. And then if you can pull it up, then you can go to Fidelity, then you can go to Grayscale. And as you can see, Grayscale has been losing because it started off here at 600 something thousand Bitcoin, and now they're down to 200 something. So they've hemorrhaged 400,000 Bitcoin. And boy, I know they're hurting about that. Here's an even better animation. As you can see, Grayscale starting off with 619,000 Bitcoin. And as you can see, iBit's going to catch them real quick. And this is the dates underneath since January 10th or January 11th, excuse me. And iBit is just walking them down just in about 4 months, 5 months, something like that. And they're just going, man. Again, I've said this 100 times. Imagine what this thing is going to look like next year. They're going to buy even more next year than they did this year. I don't know, because obviously the prices are going to be higher, and I don't know if they're going to be able to get that. But again, they have so much money and assets under management. Who knows, man? But again, this is why I told people we move from retail buying to institutional buying since January 11th, 2024, when the Bitcoin ETFs were first launched. Now let's look at the flows. Obviously, this is not updated. This is January 13th. And then this here it's showing going up and up and up, 512,000. It just shows the daily. When you guys go to these websites, you'll see it. It's pretty cool. The yellow means daily ETF flows. The black, total net Bitcoin ETF flows. In other words, net minus what went out that day. So that's a pretty cool chart. And then the holdings, you can see this in color, just like the other one. MicroStrategy, even though it's not an ETF, it's right behind iBit. But again, I showed you guys a graphic the other day that MicroStrategy since November is buying Bitcoin at a higher rate, especially with BlackRock selling off so many yesterday. All right, guys, just as a reminder, you can go ahead and subscribe to the channel. A lot of you guys haven't been subscribing. Like the video, share it. That's the poor man's plan and all that stuff. And if you guys want to help out the channel, the best way you can do it is donate, and I really, really appreciate it. I started a new segment called Bitcoin Adoption 2025, whatever year we're in. And we're going to go ahead and talk about some of the adoption stuff that's going on a daily basis, if there's some news about it. And today there is. A lot of people think Bitcoin's price went up, but one of the factors is this right here. Bitcoin price surges after leak reveals imminent Trump game changer $100 trillion predicted. So I don't know if that's true or not, but again, the orange man has a lot to say when it comes to the orange coin. And I heard today on one of those videos I watched that he has a lot of Bitcoin, he says. Personally, he has a lot of Bitcoin. So again, the orange man likes the orange coin. And when he speaks, people listen. Some more adoption news. We got Bitcoin Strategic Reserve Bill introduced in Oklahoma. We talked about this the other day, guys. There's a lot of states in America that have been wanting a strategic Bitcoin reserve for their state. It goes on to say this bill is about protecting the hard-earned money of Oklahoma citizens. Representative Cody Maynard said upon introducing the act. A new bill to establish Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset was introduced to the Oklahoma House of Representatives on January 15th today by State Representative Cody Maynard. So yeah, you guys can read the rest of this, but it's crazy, man. The more and more we look up, the more and more people are adopting this great technology, man. They really are. And we talked about this one the other day. I think it was yesterday or the day before, but I want to reiterate this again since we got the new segment. Largest Italian bank, Intesa Sanpaolo, buys Bitcoin. This is the largest Italian bank in the country buying Bitcoin. And guys, that's not a small feat, man. I know this article came out today. It's a 3-minute read. You guys can check it out on Bitcoin News. But again, man, adoption is going fast and furious right now. And if you think that all these companies and countries and banks are buying for no reason, you guys aren't paying attention. I mean, guys, I don't know what else to tell you, man. With all this adoption going on, what I just showed you with the countries and these companies, and I just showed you with the ETFs and everything else and MicroStrategy and all that stuff, I don't know what else to tell you, man. And with the the January 20th inauguration coming and the strategic Bitcoin reserve being built. Again, guys, if you don't think Bitcoin is going up, and again, this is not financial advice, I got some beachfront property to sell you in Las Vegas. All right, guys, we got some more adoption news here. We got Texas State Senator Charles Schwarzenegger. It's time for Texas to lead the way in establishing a strategic Bitcoin reserve. That's why I filed SB 778, which, if passed, would make Texas the first state in the nation to establish an SBR. This would position our state at the forefront of the digital economy, driving growth and securing economic freedom for our great state. This is the biggest state in the country, guys, besides Alaska, Texas. And speaking of the biggest state, we got Canada, too. Canada, who has no Bitcoin at all. They're getting rid of Justin Trudeau. Do you think they're not going to buy it? Bitcoin with the Apple guy, Pierre Palav, or whatever his name is? You don't think they're going to buy Bitcoin? Of course they are, guys. This is about to get insane. So buckle up, guys. The CPI numbers, unexpected decline in core CPI numbers sends Bitcoin price higher. Bitcoin has been consolidating in a range of 10 to 15% below record highs as investors largely tempered expectations of further interest rate cuts. So that's what I was wrong about, guys. I was totally wrong about this, and I got to eat my crow. Also, Bitcoin touches 100,000 again as a cool inflation reading fuels risk appetite. And guys, just as a reminder, this is why we Bitcoin right here. $36 trillion in debt, and you owe $107,000. What did you do to deserve that, guys? What did you do? I don't know. I didn't do anything. I know you didn't do anything. We just pay our taxes, go to work, and everything else. So again, man, this is why we do this right here. This is why we stack so hard. This is the only way we're going to defeat inflation. It's the only way we're going to defeat and pay off that debt. And we got to keep striving and working hard and make sure we learn about and stack the best money in the world. And I think you guys already know what that is. It's the best way to save. And for me, the only way to save. And that's Bitcoin. I love each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love, guys.